People want to find their passion, but you don't find it, you create it. And you create it by getting good at something. And to get good at stuff, you start by doing something you suck at. Then you get good, then you like it, then people ask how you found your passion. Answer: by starting when you sucked and not giving up.
We leveled up one of our major funnels and it rapidly increased the conversion rate.
He thinks he puts his heart into what he does to be able to deliver.
You know, you and Macy, both super sharp, man. And that's one of the biggest pleasures of working together. You guys are like diamonds, you know, very hard to come across in the digital world.
Best looking profile on Upwork for ClickFunnels. I'm like, this guy is the best. Like, this is the guy I need.
He's so thorough with his work. He shows you what he's done, why he did it that way, how to access things. I just so trust him.
Yeah, really into the detail and cannot recommend him highly enough. Buddy, thank you like for everything you've done. And yeah, love working with you.
Nothing But Up, the podcast, Season 2, with your host,
Jameer Angelo.
Welcome to the podcast. It's Jameer Angelo, your host for Nothing But Up, the podcast. And I'm coming to you live from my simple home office in the province of South Cotabato. Now, you're tuned in today to Season 2, Episode 18. And today is Wednesday, May 22. We're back at it again with another episode that will help you feel accepted, that feeling of being welcomed, that emotion, that sweet fragrance of success. And today's episode will help you realize that at some point, every single one of us, we all started somewhere. Now, we didn't become experts in the blink of an eye, nor we didn't achieve success overnight, right? But before we dive into today's episode, let's try and throw some shout outs here. And I guess firstly, I would really like to say thank you to Macy for always being here for me. And I mean always. I've been going through some rough times lately, personally and professionally, and she's always there to guide me, humble me, and remind me of the person I've become. And thank you also to my entire team at Funnel Expert PH for the support, as always. Now, these guys, I know they are busy, but they always make time to catch up with our podcast episodes that we produce. So thanks to Jolo, Kokoy, Jamie, Shao, Renz, Apple, Nene, and Mark, my brother. Appreciate you guys. And then finally, shout out to everybody that has, recently subscribed to our podcast show. We have Malik Adua, Wendy Fleming, Joseph Christian, Kelly Chaplin, Thresha Oblea, and Delia Dennis. And yeah, these are folks from Canada, US, and Jamaica. And yes, guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, just try to go to Spotify and search for Nothing But Up, the podcast, and follow us and download our episodes there. You can also catch us on YouTube. Look for Funnel Expert PH, and you can catch all of our episodes there for you to see. Now, that's what I said. Today's episode is something very, very, very touching, at least for me, because you see, a couple days ago, I've seen some messages and emails about how impressed they were with my credentials and achievements, and I'm talking about prospects or leads that's looking to acquire our services, and they just don't know the pain that I went through to get there, and to be even here, and to be even called or named as a funnel expert. And no, I mean, it wasn't smooth sailing at all, man. There was tons of struggles that I had to go through before I was able to make it from rock bottom to funnel expert. And let me take you back. Now, the journey to discovering your dreams and purpose often starts from a place of despair and uncertainty. And that is true. And for me, this was particularly true, I think, way back 2011 when I hit rock bottom. Everything seemed meaningless and I was consumed by, anxiety, stress, and with no clear goals or dreams beyond making it through each day. Now, interestingly enough, the beginning of I'd say, transformative journey can often be accidental. And we might not realize when a pivotal idea or moment will occur. Up until my low point, my life kind of like revolved around chasing societal expectations of success. I mean, money, status, and so much material possessions, rather than what truly mattered to me. And I assumed my path to success was predetermined by the fortunate circumstances, but it was soon proven wrong. Now, being wrong is often where it starts. Being wrong is where the accident of your success journey can begin. It's in these, moments of deep pain and delusionment that we decide and say enough is enough. These low points were incredibly challenging and can be very powerful catalysts for change if we choose to harness them. Now, in 2011, my breaking point led me to make a profound decision. I didn't go on a grand quest, but instead, I chose to walk a path I'm not even sure where it's headed to. During that time, I was not aware of the principles of success or even heard about personal development, but I knew that I needed to do something different. This became a turning point. Now, this led me to the world of freelancing, where I found an outlet where, my skills and interests are honed. And initially, I took on small freelance projects, that seemed wild. Started out as a virtual assistant. I was still able to utilize my skills with sales, and I did manage my clients' Facebook messages, where I connect with his network, then leading them to signing up for his weekly live webinars during that time. And slowly but surely, I started to see my skills grow, and the results were really epic. And then this is the uncomfortable switch. The transition was really not smooth. I was so damn afraid to go ask for a higher rate. That was the biggest struggle, but long before, I knew and observed how much first world countries are pricing themselves with servicing funnels and automation. So I took the leap of faith and with no hesitation made myself, available in the marketplace. But surprisingly, 3 months went by. I still haven't closed a client. So I figured it's not about the price of my service, because I was only at $6 an hour then. And it may have something to do with how I apply or, reach out to clients. Or funnel building isn't as profitable as I thought it was back then. But then I realized, everybody is doing the same thing. To be noticed, you have to be different. And so I created a video showing myself talking and selling my services in front of the camera. I made it so generic so I can still go and work on, VA jobs or build funnels. And looking back, it was so funny seeing my bald self. Guys, you should probably watch that video. It's on my site. Just go to funnelexpertph.com and check on the navigations there. You can see my video there, entirely about my story. I made for Upwork just to, entice clients to, interview me and have the chance to work with them. And surprisingly, guys, it did work. So I kind of like closed my first ever $6 per hour job, but the contract fell short and it was a disaster. However, it really didn't stop me from pushing and really aiming to be the best in what I do. Instead of dwelling about the slightly negative review I got, that failure pushed me to even perform better. But sadly, the opportunities that came to me during those years were not a good fit for me. So it was failure after failure after failure. But I remained optimistic, and I felt like I have to make some change with how I position myself in the marketplace. And I have to admit, becoming a VA was just not a good fit for me, considering my personality. And then I decided to focus on funnel building. So I literally jumped right into it, going all in. And guys, let me tell you, I never ever had a plan B. I knew that I was good, and long before, I knew that I can make a name in the funnel game. So I made a very drastic approach. I bumped my asking rate and totally separate myself from doing VA jobs and positioning myself as the guy who will help you create killer funnel pages. And then the results were phenomenal. And all the hard work has finally paid off. Now, I'm starting to make a buzz in the funnel industry. So year after year, I make it a point to raise my asking rate. Then the biggest break that I've been dreaming about actually came. And this is the biggest break ever. A client came on asking for a quote to do a funnel for the movie Think and Grow Rich, The Legacy. So he first reached out to Macy actually, but she decided to pass a project to me. And this has so much complexity as far as the build out is concerned. So I took the interview and closed the deal. And I had the opportunity to work alongside the directors and producers as well. Some of the top names in the coaching industry, named Bob Proctor, Barbara Corcoran, Rob Deirdrick, Louis Hose, Dennis Kimbrough, and so much more. And the campaign was launched successfully, and it did open the doors for me big time. And from that moment on, I got invites after invites, and I was very overwhelmed with bigger and bigger projects coming in from big names, which I embraced. And I didn't shy away from the opportunity. I embraced it, and I took the challenge. The next big project I did was to create a funnel and strategize the back end for no other than the iconic kings of hip hop, Bone Thugs, and Harmony. So I plotted and mapped out the funnel from the strategy down to crafting the back-end process, the nurture sequences down to setting up the checkout forms, presenting multiple upsells and downsells. And personally, I'm a big fan, so I was so ecstatic knowing that I got to build out their campaign, get to see my idols, and do business with them. I also had the opportunity to meet the entire team, so the project was so memorable to me. So shout out to Darren, my guy, for hooking me up. And because of these two straight top caliber projects, and with the client's referral, my name made a buzz in Hollywood. And I got emails after emails from, Hollywood actresses trying to get my services. And I built a funnel for, Arian Alexander. And to date, we still have, live contract working on call for her. The project went smooth and it seemed really automatic. Then, I worked with Lakita Claire and Jonah Shao, all from Hollywood guys. So a few months after, I got another deal from the music field, and who's also into relationship coaching, Miss Melanie Hirsch. So I even had her as a guest on this podcast show, Nothing But Up, the podcast, season 1. So check her out there. And and so much more. And because of my breakthrough, I appeared on multiple podcast shows internationally from the US, Canada, UK, and literally been all over the place. And I was able to interview the CEO of Planable, Xenia Montin, Forbes 30 under 30. So, and also my story got featured with the top US media outlets, namely Fox, CBS, and NBC. And guys, because of those achievements, we were able to live the life we've always dreamed of, having to have our humble home, having to support all of my children, my entire family, and having to have all the things that we thought we couldn't get. And then I was able to lift and inspire some lives from people I really don't know. And as a freelancer, I learned the importance of building a personal brand and marketing my services. So what does this mean to you? Well, it means that your next move might be simpler than you think. Rather than waiting for a monumental change or an epiphany start, you might as well start with small, manageable decisions. Now, these incremental steps can lead you to significant transformations over time. Whether it's, taking a daily walk, enrolling into courses to learn, starting a freelancing gig, or maybe learning a new skill, the key here is to start. Even finding a positive habit or trigger is not enough by itself. You need to make a conscious decision to reject your current results and focus intensely on one pursuit. And it's really about, breaking free from old patterns and behaviors that will hold you back. Now, during my journey, I really redefined how I saw myself. I visualized my potential and the life that I really wanted to lead. Now, this shift in mindset is very crucial, guys. I mean, you must see yourself not as you are, but as who you can become. Embrace boldness and self-belief. Now, these are essential traits for making lasting changes. Now, remember, people might doubt you or think you're foolish, but often their skepticism stems from their own unfulfilled aspirations. Now, don't let external negativity deter you. Believe in your potential before anyone else does. Now, starting is the hardest part, but it's also the most rewarding. It begins with the small decisions, actions, not with waiting for a grand moment. Take that first step now and believe you're destined for something incredible. We're all capable of greatness once we find the courage to begin. And that the journey starts with a single step. As cliche as that may sound, again, it starts with a single step. And while the end is unknown, that uncertainty is part of the adventure. Time for you to take that first step. And guys, that's a wrap for today's episode. Remember, no matter what challenges you may face, there's always a way to rise above and keep moving forward. With the right mindset and determination, nothing can hold you back. Nothing but up. Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to subscribe to our podcast for more inspiring conversations like this. This is Jameer Angelo. Until next time, peace, y'all.
Sage about the flex.